PS4, so which I thought was, I was happy about it because PS4 has been leading sales all year.
Okay.
And they're just number one right now until E3 came around the corner. And the moment E3 came, Xbox started outselling the PlayStation throughout that whole week, and the Xbox is still gaining momentum since then.
Yeah.
So that's taking out the factor of up until E3, because I mean, as of right now, as a collective, PS4 is still outselling.
What is selling? I'm a big Xbox fan,
Right.
From way back. So this kind of surprises me.
Right. So the console, I'm guessing because of all these news, the backwards compatibility, the Windows 10 thing, the cross-platforming,
Microsoft trying to buy the ADM chip.
And that too.
What Windows 10 thing?
So how if you own Windows 10, if you have a Wi-Fi network set up, you can play your Xbox One game, stream it through your Wi-Fi to your PC, and then through their broadcasting.
And play it on the PC? I thought I remember you saying something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Something about using your Xbox One as a central hub,
and then
that anybody can tap into.
Right, playing it on your PC or even streaming it through Twitch.
Sure.
Which that opens more doors because, like me, for example, I've been wanting to do like Twitch for the longest.
Yeah.
They see so much potential in that market, but I didn't have a Connect.
It's remote play.
So I can go and use that, use my PC, and just play my games and do the whole chatting thing and still have the full screen on. And
kind of like I said 2 weeks ago, it seems like Microsoft is throwing down everything, throwing down all the chips, and just saying fuck you to everybody.
Yeah, which is about time, man.
And like I was telling him, I was telling Doug, I would not be surprised if by the end of this year into next year, Microsoft is the dominant console.
That surprises me because I thought this. I mean, if the sales are true, that's a fact that I can't argue against. I thought, being very strongly in the Xbox camp, I like PlayStation really well, but it's never appealed to me enough to kind of invest most of my gaming library into it. I did that for the 360 and for the original Xbox. And I thought this year's E3, I thought Sony killed it. And that Microsoft fell short, but I guess the consensus is that's not true. I guess people love what they heard.
I was reading a Game Informer for this month. They released, there was a big E3 section in it, and they released grades for each company. Microsoft, they gave a B. Sony, they gave a B+. But the only reason they got the B+ was because of the gaming lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
That Sony's going to throw out there. But Microsoft offered more, more functionality in what you're going to be able to do with the console going forward.
Okay. All right, man. I guess, hey, that's not a bad thing. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I think competition is the best thing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see myself having both of those consoles in my home in the near future instead of just one. So, and I gotta say the Xbox is really the place to go, I feel like, for media.
Yeah.
If you are a media hub in a room in front of a TV in your home, that's the place to go.
Which I felt like it was the opposite last gen with the PS3 and the 360. I felt like the PS3 was geared more towards the media and the 360 was more gaming focused.
I think that was the case earlier, a little bit earlier on. I think when they started to come to the end of the life cycle.
Well, because they did that patch for the 360 where they changed the interface.
Yeah,
and they made
and then they got Twitch, and they got all the different and they got all the different applications that seemed to be running better. But I know what you mean. Yeah, PlayStation seemed to be the original. We'll see what happens. I'm excited about future lineups for both consoles, and I'm really hoping that the Xbox One. Okay, great. The sales are picking up, so I don't know what that means for future games or game development that are going to come out on that console. But I'm really hoping to see some alluring titles announced in the future that aren't Halo and Gears of War.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they just announced that Gears of War, they're going to make another one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it's so if you're into that, great, hooray!
Right, but they flopped with Judgment Day. I bought 3, and then Judgment Day come out. No, I didn't even buy 3 because I heard 3 was super short.
Okay.
I had 2, 1 and 2. I heard 3 was super short, and Judgment Day again short flopped. And now they're doing a remastered edition for the Xbox One.
Yeah, that's right.
Which fans are going crazy about.
Which amazes me because I'm just kind of tired of them.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because we're a little older. Maybe there's people that are a little younger than us who came in during 3,
right,
or during 2, and didn't really get the same amount of, time into
it.
I don't know.
Kind of like how PlayStation came out with the God of War 3 remastered.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, we
Yeah,
can
but
play
God
that.
of War was a freaking incredible
Yeah,
franchise.
that was the one game that I want that was close to making me switch over to PlayStation.
I feel like for the longest, God of War really helped pick them back up, and it dominated for a while.
Because how well they did the gameplay and how well they did the story and how they connected it to mythology so well and
yeah, they did their research.
Yeah,
they brought that world to life.
That was a
so
masterpiece.
they haven't announced anything, which makes me think because every time a company does a remastered version of anything, I would say 8 times out of 10 that means that they're going to do another one. Do you guys?
That sometimes happens, yeah, where they do a remake and then it's announced later. The remake is to keep you busy while we
create the next one.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
So do you guys see maybe there being a God of War 4 in the next gen?
I don't know because did you guys play 3?
I played them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What more is there to do? You essentially killed the
And I feel that's the thing, is that I feel like people are kind of trying to. It's kind of like Mass Effect. There's 3 Mass Effect games.
They're coming out with another one.
And have you seen the plot for the new one?
No.
It's identical. It's just a different dude in a different part of space, in a different time frame, and he's got to save the galaxy from an unknown ancient threat that's coming back.
Yeah, that's the same storyline as the Shepherd.
It is, but it's different. All different names. It's a different thing. It's not the Reapers. It's the Reavers. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't think they should do it.
I'm kind of tired of that because that's what Mass Effect's doing. That's what God of War would have to do. That's what Gears of War is doing.
And that's what I was saying last week when we brought up Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And how some franchises need to stop in a certain place instead of continuing because it could really damage and hurt a franchise.
Right. It's better to leave off at your peak than to try and squeeze more out of it and then eventually leave that bad taste in
And if they do a God of War 4, I'm not going to be tempted to play it just for the fact that again, what is there left to do?
Well, if I think about it, he killed off everybody, but in
God of War spoilers, everyone died.
But in Greek mythology, there was an era where all the gods got killed, and then you had the demigods, Hercules and all. I don't know. Hercules.
Well, God of War 3, you killed Hercules.
Right, you killed Hercules, but there were so many demigods according to Greek mythology that was the era of how civilization stopped believing in the gods, and but those demigods kind of started rising again, and there was a rebirth.
God of War 4 would essentially be just finishing off everyone else.
Or it could be the vice versa, where Kratos. See, I don't know how I come up with these storylines, but Kratos takes over as the god.
Now you gotta play a lesser god.
And then you're playing like a demigod or something that has to go and kill him.
I think it should just be the prequel to the Bible. Christianity came up after stuff, so that they should just get phased out.
And you play as like Moses or Jesus.
Kratos like, why don't people believe in me anymore? So, have you heard the word? The word of God.
10 Commandments.
It's just you going from village to village, preaching the Bible.
Which Kratos people are stopping. They're not believing.
No Kratos, he's not in it. There's like 30 seconds in the beginning of it. And it's just a dude in sandals.
Right.
Yeah.
And God created Earth.
Right.
And there was Kratos.
And then the Bible was like, wait, I'm now confused because the Bible was like hundreds of years after Jesus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, well actually the Old Testament was way before Jesus.
I mean when it was written.
Oh yeah. It was written way after Jesus.
Yeah.
Way after Jesus.
And then they were like, here's what happened. In case you guys missed it, previously on Jesus.
Right. The Lost Chronicles.
Yeah, the Bible.
The Lost Stories. Kratos was actually a prophet of God after he killed off all the Greek gods. Oh god.
Oh, so weird. He turns out to be Moses. Kratos turns out to be Moses.
We just offended half our fan base.
Yeah, okay.
Potential fan base.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's
before we lose it.
So Halo 5. Speaking of, having to move on.
Yeah.
Halo 5 came out with something called a Legendary Collector's Edition, which is by far to date the most expensive collector's edition you can buy.
Telling me.
$250.
Wait, what's the difference between this and the Master Chief Collection?
Well, the Master Chief Collection was just Because I don't think Master Chief, did it have 5? No.
Oh,
That was just all the games up to 4.
Okay.
And like the original ones from the Xbox was all remastered.
Oh, okay,
To keep
gotcha.
up with next gen, it had the cool extras.
So is this new one out or it's coming out?
No, it's coming out.
Okay.
It's 5. It has like all these extra perks and it looks amazing. For one thing, no physical copy, which pissed off fans so bad because if they're paying that much money, why not throw a physical copy in there? And then Microsoft came out saying, you know what, we'll fix this. When you get your digital copy a week before the physical copy comes out, don't use your code, hold on to it. When the physical copy comes out, we'll gladly exchange it by you going on the website, entering your code, and we'll ship you the
Typical
physical.
corporate BS backtracking.
Yeah.
Again.
Which defeats the purpose of
Well, of course it
paying all
does.
that
That's them
money.
going, oh, we didn't mean to piss you off again. You don't have to have the Connect on all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: in this Legendary Collection, does it have Halo 1 through 4 in there?
I don't.
What's in it then? What is this Legendary Collection?
Because I mean, I know it has.
That's kind of insulting.
It is.
Yeah.
If you just bought the Master Chief Collection,
The price tag alone is insulting.
and then $250 and you're paying for the same 4 games or 5 if ODST is
Right.
there.
That would. Yeah. And then it doesn't even have the physical.
Konami did that nonsense, and I was very upset. I bought. It was like a Metal Gear HD collection.
Oh, I
Remember
remember
that?
that, yeah,
It
you-
came with nothing comes with Metal Gear Solid. You know what I mean? But it came with Solid 2,
Okay.
the Subsistence, and then Snake Eaters, Substance, and then Snake Eaters. Was it Subsistence? I don't know. Whatever. So it came with those, and then it also came with Peace Walker, I believe, and then it also came with like the old games as well, like Metal Gear and Metal Gear
Yeah.
2. And then the Legacy Edition comes out like months later, and it's got all the same games except now it also has 4 in there as well.
So that was the only
Solid
difference.
4. Yeah, and it had like the digital comics, and I think it had like the portable ops, and everything was all updated in HD. It's like, well, why did I buy the last one? It's the same price too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You should have just announced it.
I know. It's yeah.
So that fans could be like, oh, I'd rather get this version than this.
Exactly.
I didn't like 4 that much, so
Yeah.
I'll just get this one
And I
instead.
always think that's just so terrible.
So the Halo 5
Yeah, what is it
Collector's
called?
Edition. Limited Collector's Edition packaging. Commemorative statue of the Master Chief and Spartan lock by Triforce. Metal Earth Guardian model. A steel box. It doesn't say for what. Digital game download. Spartan locks, classified orders, and dossiers on Blue Team and Fire Team Osiris. And then it just says like
So a
other
bunch of stuff
digital
that's not
content.
even games.
Right, and then there's
There's
just
a bunch of
digital.
crap you could probably get off eBay.
What
for
are the
months.
games in it?
Just Halo 5.
Just Halo 5.
And this whole package is
This is the collector's edition for Halo 5.
$250.
Okay, all right, that's fine. $250, all right, whatever. People pay for it.
Yeah.
If that's what you want. I can't complain about that because you're either into it or you're not.
Right, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, I was just afraid it was going to be the same.
We're the same thing as Master Chief.
Yeah, collection except
Which the thing that just kind of pisses me off is the fact that, people are paying this much money to get the game a week before everyone else gets the cheap version of the game.
Yeah.
So now they have to wait. They're gonna have all this nonsense that you don't need. They're not gonna be able to play the game, so they're just gonna be staring at it. And then they're gonna have to.
I really love this downloadable code.
Yeah. Oh, look at this code. X, Y.
Yeah,
Z,
that takes
5.
away the incentive of getting it early. I don't know how I feel about collector's editions. I'm not sure about it.
I've
They've
never
been
bought
going
a
crazy
collector's
about it.
edition.
You never have. I think I have a couple of Metal Gear
I've never
collector's
had an
editions.
incentive to buy any. I think the only one I probably would get is that Black Ops 3 one.
With the fridge.
Yeah, I just want the fridge. I just want the yeah, that's all I want.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's as bad. It definitely isn't as bad as exclusive DLC. That I hate. Where like reserve it through GameStop and
Oh,
you get
yeah.
that DLC, but you
Yeah.
can't get the one that you get if you reserve it through Best Buy.
Right, they did that with State of Decay. When they
Okay.
released it for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
GameStop gave you. I got it for GameStop just because I missed out on the 360
Yeah.
version. I'm like, oh, let me get on this now. They give you like some special gun and special character and special car but you get this knife that's like completely different than the knife, the Amazon knife,
it's
or Best Buy.
yeah, it's abhorrent. I don't like that kind of
I mean,
business practice.
there's a few collector's editions I almost bought, but I haven't like, what was it, W2K14 had that Undertaker edition.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna, how much was it, like $90? And all you got was like a freaking casket looking case.
Yeah.
And like an autograph.
Which
Really isn't his autograph, it's just printed 1,000
yeah,
times.
which we really didn't. Which I was tempted to buy that one as well.
I mean, I was too.
But then I thought about it, I'm like, yeah.
And then you got, what, the badass motorcycle DLC with it,
Yeah.
which now it's like $2.
Right.
It's
Which ends up
$2.
happening with most DLC.
Yeah, is this later it just comes out.
Right, because it's not considered a collector's edition, but Witcher 3 came out. And I mean, Witcher 3 didn't have a collector's edition
Sure.
because their thing was packed with like
Right.
everything.
It was the collector's
But
edition.
there was like, they also did like a $30 hardcover strategy guide with a little booklet with like 100 and something pages.
Sure.
With like all the background stories of all the characters and all the locations, and I bought that.
Okay.
And that was worth it, because I've been stuck a couple of times in Witcher 3, and I'd be like, let me grab the strategy
Sure.
guide. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what you do.
Do you guys remember the days when when your parents would take you to a store and find the strategy guides for your Game Boy games and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't remember those days at all. I'm the only guy here.
And my dad was such a hardcore gamer, he did not believe in strategy
I
guides.
imagine you're picking up one. No. What
No,
I
and
tell
so
you?
he would never buy it. He'd be like, no. He's like, to be a true gamer, you have to like tough it out,
Harsh words from college.
get stressed out, lose your hair. Which, by the way, my dad was bald. So lose your hair over it, but he's like, you get that sensation of gratification once you get past that level. And so I would just go to Best Buy, and he'd be like off doing whatever,
Oh, no, man.
and I'll just be in the aisle, just sitting with my little strategy guide, looking around to see if he's anywhere. And there's
Just
just
got him behind you already.
What are you looking at? I guess he never wanted to catch you on game facts. What does this say? Game facts.
I don't know, when I was a kid, when we go to the grocery store, I pick up the Pokemon Red and stuff, like strategy guides, and just flip through them. I remember those days, they were nice.
Yeah.
Now I just go to
That's when gaming was so. Yeah, that's when gaming was so innocent.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
It was so innocent, and now you don't see that anymore.
I don't know, me and Doug were talking about something like a few months back about how games today, they don't let you figure it out for yourself. You get this long ass tutorial now.
Yeah.
In the beginning of games.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't get that same feeling where you get to figure it out for yourself.
Well, it's mass market. It's mass appeal.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stupid people and children.
Right.
It's all about stupid people and children.
Even though Witcher 3, they have a tutorial.
Sure.
But it's
not the same.
It's not long.
They don't hold your hand through the
No.
game. Through the game.
Any game I play now, I always skip tutorials.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
figure it. And
Because
there's some games that you play that you can skip the tutorial, but it'll still pop up on your screen. Press.
Remind
something
you,
to
yeah.
Yeah. In the middle of it,
First
10 hours
level.
into the game.
Be like, remember, you gotta press this button,
Yeah.
this button. That's what Batman does a lot.
Yes.
They
yeah.
remind you, like, you're able to grapple. It'd be like a little
Press
message.
your R2 and all
Yeah,
that.
and grapple.
Yeah, that lets you know where it is, but it's not as bad as like, it's not as bad as like when you're playing a game like Call of Duty, which is the master of doing that, and now Skyrim 2, unfortunately, and some of these other games. I know I go back to Skyrim a lot. I've got a bone to pick. But you're in the world, you're out there, you're trying to be independent, you're on the adventure, and you get to a spot like where you're kind of stuck, like in a temple or something like that, and there's companions, computer NPC companions with you, looks like we're gonna have to solve a puzzle. You're like, don't tell me that. Yeah.
Half an hour in.
Right. What would happen if we push that block over there? I don't need to know that. You know what I mean?
You make me not want to push the block.
Yeah, and that's what it
It
is.
isn't even the block.
Yeah, they're whole handing, and they don't do that in The Witcher.
They don't.
You get stuck. You're like, I have no idea.
Because with The Witcher, you don't have companions with you.
And when they do, they're like, figure it out, Geralt.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Before we all
It's like,
die.
I don't know what to do, Geralt.
Yeah.
Let me see what's
Gotta
first.
be some trash
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
With that voice of his own.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What else is going on here?
So Dead Island 2, which I remember I played like.
Which is.
It's like that it looks like Dying Light,
Yeah.
but it's more of a like comical version of
No,
it.
I remember Dead Island 2. Yeah.
But the game hasn't released, and they've been
Yeah.
developing it for
Yeah.
years and years. People were saying, oh, it's going to be at E3 because they released a trailer earlier in the year.
At E3.
They had that trailer where the guy was like jogging. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
out of the son you
And
see
there's
zombies,
zombies
and by the
everywhere.
end of it, he's a zombie himself.
Yeah.
That game looked amazing. I saw gameplay for it. I'm like, oh, this is Dying Light, but it isn't as creepy and, cynical and
Maybe
terrifying.
Dying Light derailed it.
No, and it turns out the developer Jaeger is leaving the project,
Okay.
and so the Deep Silver is trying to find
Somebody else
to do it.
That's always hard to do. In the middle of that's always
That
hard
long of
to
a
do.
development
Yeah.
to just be like, okay, are you willing to take over from where they're doing it, or are you just gonna want to scratch the whole thing and start?
Most companies usually end up scratching the whole thing. I've noticed.
Well, that's what happened so many times. I mean, before I forget, that's what happened so many times with Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 3D
What a disaster.
came out, and that was my favorite.
Let's take a second to talk about how bad Duke Nukem Forever was.
Right, no, that
Duke Nukem 3D was great.
That was my
God.
favorite game of all time. You
I
asked
love
me,
the
Duke
multiplayer,
Nukem, it was
yeah.
so awesome for its time. And then I remember around the same time, my dad would always be so for yeah, Apollo, I heard Duke Nukem Forever is gonna come out. And
So
another year would
15 years
pass.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still gonna come out. And there would always be little rumors it's gonna come out, it's
One was
gonna
like
come out.
15 years later, it's finally out.
It's 15 years later and they finally came out with it and it was crap.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrendous. I played the demo.
The only thing that,
Right.
I can't, I mean.
There was nothing about it that, even the character models.
Comedy wasn't even there.
See, what killed it was it's 15 years later, what made Duke Nukem so good, the references that we loved, doesn't reach out to the audience now.
Balls of steel.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? There is, if you go on probably YouTube, you can find the original build of Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah.
Before they scrapped it, and it looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks
No,
amazing.
yeah, I saw that, and it was just because they had the same issue
Yeah.
as Dead Island 2, developers would
This
come on,
one-
try it out, they would leave, scratch
This
it,
one-
or they
scrap
didn't.
it.
This one just got stupid weird, and it goes to show you how much it sucks when I walk into a GameStop and I see it on sale for $3.99.
Right.
Is that what they're doing now?
No, yeah, it came out.
On Xbox Live.
It was so much hype. It came out for 50, and then not even 2 months later, it was down to 15.
Yes.
Then they thought about buying it. The GameStop dude was like, "No, don't buy it. It's trash."
I don't want this.
And then a
Yeah.
month later, it was down to $5.
Who publishes Dead Island?
It was Deep Silver
Yeah.
with Jaeger.
So Deep Silver's company that published it wasn't published by Ubisoft or something like that, or.
I don't, because I do know the article said that Deep Silver was looking for somebody else to come on
Sure.
board and continue on with developing.
We'll see.
And they didn't say why he left.
No, they just said that they just did a little announcement.
I gotta be honest, if I was making a game like that and then Dying Light came out and beat me to it, I would probably jump ship too. That would really,
Yeah,
that
because
would
Dying Light was
Right.
amazing.
that would really upset me.
Even though I kind of stopped playing it just because I'm not into horror games like that. And a lot of the game after
I love
halfway
horror
through,
games,
it's
yeah.
in the night, and there's these big mega zombies that chase you,
Sure,
and you have to
yeah.
run, and it just
Yeah, I've
creates
seen
a
a lot.
sense
I
of
love a
like,
good horror game like that. There's very few horror games I'm into. I know one of the biggest ones that I loved from last year was The Evil Within.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's been so long since I've had a game that actually scared the crap out of me.
Yeah,
Did
we-
the character have my name in that thing?
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did.
finally a game
I do think.
with named Sebastian.
Yeah.
Where it fits your name, yeah.
Yeah.
Evil Within was good. For years I've always wanted them to do either a remake or a remaster version of Silent Hill: The Room. I love
Well, now everybody's pissed about PT.
Oh yeah.
So
What do you
Deep
got?
Silver is the publisher. The developer was Jaeger Development. Jaeger stepping down, and they're trying to see if anybody's willing to pick it
So
up.
how much money could Deep Silver really have? Like if you were gonna tell me Ubisoft was the publisher, then I'd be like, whatever, scrap and burn the project, it's not a problem. Or keep it going. I bet the company could probably
The
easily
fact that
fund
they're
it.
looking for someone,
Yeah.
maybe they don't have the money to scrap it.
Right. So
You
that
know,
would be
it'd be
like,
like, yeah,
who's
we can
willing to
scrap it and it'll be
continue?
okay.
Because
I see.
not that many developers are willing to work on somebody else's work.
That's true.
Because they're gonna have to break it apart,
Yeah,
see
you
what
gotta
their
go,
code
sometimes you
was.
gotta start from the ground up. And yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Most companies that do that, they end up scratching the idea and stuff.
Yeah.
Go in a different
But
direction.
from the sounds of it, Deep Silver sounds like they don't have the money to scrap it and just say, yeah, we'll be fine if we scrap it. It sounds like they need somebody.
Somebody to take over.
Okay.
Which I was touching base on Duke Nukem. I was excited. There might be rumors that, although I was kind of hesitant when I read it because Forever was so.
So we get another Duke Nukem?
They're gonna make another one.
Oh no.
But they said this time they're actually, instead of trying to, because
Oh,
what,
they're gonna
what
actually.
Forever, what they said Forever's mistake was,
Duke Nukem Forever.
what Forever did wrong was they tried too hard to be reminiscent
itself
of
for
3D.
Does Gearbox own the rights to Duke Nukem? Do they own Duke Nukem now?
Well, let me see. Because they said it's going to be a new developing company. If they're looking for somebody to like start it again, and it's all going to come down to whether or not Doom, the new Doom, is going to be a hit because
hell.
it's
So
such.
it's that
It's
classic.
like a brother of Duke Nukem. So if Doom is
Yeah.
a success, it'll be like, okay, there's a market for these type of games.
Sure.
Let's do another Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
Because back in the day, in my opinion, Duke Nukem
Don't we all just want to see a remake?
was
of
better than
Nukem
Doom.
3D.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With today's graphics, so pretty.
So we were talking about The Witcher.
Yes.
There's a big patch, right?
Yes.
That came out.
Oh yeah.
What did this patch do? Is this a patch or is this DLC?
It's a patch. So what it is, it's fixing problems.
I didn't know it had problems.
I mean, little bugs here and there. I think mostly for the PC. Usually when they do a patch, they just release it for everything. And like for the Xbox One, there was a glitch, which I kind of used to my advantage, where you could buy like seashells and like sell it for like and make a profit and make an endless amount of money over and over and over again.
Down about the seashore.
Now you can't.
And they fixed it. Not only did they fix that, which pissed me off, they were able to find a way to see if you did the glitch, and that patch cuts your money in half. So essentially, I had like 90,000 coins,
Oh.
and when I went back down,
Orange or
yeah,
okay.
and I like downloaded the patch, and I knew that it was gonna like fix that glitch. But I'm like, oh, I'm fine. 90,000 is
Where's
not
my
enough.
money?
And I saw it was like 38,000 something. I'm like, really? I spent like 4 or 5 hours getting up to that.
I think I was reading the patch
Mark.
also that said something about there's gonna be a drop in
The frame rate, yeah. It's gonna be a slight drop in frame rate for
Why?
consoles.
It wasn't running as smoothly or
It
something.
was amazing. I didn't have any issues with it. I don't know why they would do such a thing.
I guess a lot of these companies don't believe in the whole if it ain't what's that saying?
Broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was broke. Maybe in ways that we just, none of us have beaten the game. So, maybe as you get deeper into the game, it suffers from other problems.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
also sometimes people experience glitches on their console, and other people don't experience
Right.
glitches on
Yeah,
theirs.
because I before even buying Witcher, I watched streamers on Twitch playing
Yeah.
it for so long.
Sure.
And I would always like switch the channel to another game whenever it got to a section where I'm like, oh, spoiler.
Okay.
Boom, but it was regular gameplay, and I actually was hearing somebody said that they finished the game, and they said the game was amazing. There was no major glitches, no major bugs or anything. So I'm like, why would they?
Well, this company is pretty trustworthy. They have a pretty good track record.
Yeah.
So,
Gearbox owns it still.
Yeah, so Gearbox does own
Its developers was Gearbox, 3D Realms, and Piranha Games. Never heard of
Not
Piranha
heard
Games.
of
Piranha.
So I'm guessing.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably heard probably Piranha Games is stepping down,
Okay. There.
which I would expect because my guess is they're the smaller out of the
Yeah,
three.
probably.
And 3D Realms, I can't see a Duke Nukem game without 3D
Oh,
Realms.
you have to have 3D.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Is it 3D Realms? Wasn't it the same company for Doom?
I think so. Yeah.
Which explains it why, if Doom is such a hit.
I thought id Software was Doom. I think it's two different things. I think Doom is id Software.
To be honest, I mean,
Id did Wolfenstein and Doom. And 3D,
Oh,
yeah, and
okay,
3D Realms
okay,
did Duke
yeah.
Nukem.
I don't know. I'm a little intrigued. I wouldn't mind another Duke Nukem game. The last one I played it was cringe-worthy all the way through.
Right. Other
Yeah,
people
I
were
mean,
saying
I
that the
wouldn't-
best part out of it was a reference to Halo within the game.
Huh. That was the best part. Was
The suit where they saw where you
To
see
a
like,
superior
fun.
game, to a superior first-person shooter.
I think I remember that.
so yeah, Doom is ID Software, GT Interactive, and a whole bunch of other little things.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, hopefully. I hope. I mean, if they do a Duke Nukem, they better give it its due. It's one of those classic games that just opened gaming to a whole new level.
Especially when it came to shooters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll wait and see.
Definitely. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything else to add?
Oh.
Not this time.
No. Definitely. So guys, I hope you guys like this video. With video connected to it. Finally, unless I have to swallow my words and
Unless he
something
botches
happens.
it. Unless he botches it. If
But
you're listening to audio only, there's no video, Paulo botched it.
yeah, it was me. But subscribe, like. We do need your support. Please, again, comments. Let us know what you like about it, what you don't like, how we can make it better, more topics that we should talk about. Because up until now, at least me, my only critic has been my sister, and it was more her criticizing my video creating skills than anything. So, yeah, I mean, and we do have a Twitter page now.
We do.
We do, YouTube, Facebook. There's more to come into the future. Maybe get a website going.
Yeah.
Just for the articles and stuff.
Exactly. I was talking to Doug about that we should that we may launch a website soon where we could do little news articles and the stuff that we do not include in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Things that
Yeah,
decide not
So
to.
that way we don't end up with like super long.
Yeah, that way
video.
maybe we can shorten this down for everyone.
Definitely. And then also look into the future of, if we do have that website, I think it would be easier for each one of us to have like our own little page where we post our own little like opinions, the little video things that I talked about last video.
So I mean, yeah, definitely look forward to more podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
We were talking about doing a retro one, and then I know Sebastian mentioned we want to do a pop culture one.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be gaming.
Yeah, Doug's interested in that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Which would add so much more.
Yeah.
To the whole experience.
Definitely. There's a lot of stuff that we're talking about that we want to bring to fruition.
And again, if you guys have any ideas of something that you would want to see that you don't see in other gaming, not companies, but like the other gaming experiences, let us know, because we're trying to branch out into not just podcasts. We want to go out there and do the different areas in gaming. We want to
everything.
be big. We want to do
Everything.
Everything. That's possible.
I don't know how you guys feel about this. There's a buddy of mine in Rhode Island mentioned that maybe we want to do either a segment or a full on other show where we talk about gaming, lore, and knowledge.
That's kind of interesting. We have to talk about this more in detail. That's an interesting idea and an original idea. I feel like a little bit. Some people do that, but yeah.
Definitely.
Alright.
And maybe even if you guys do comment and stuff, maybe ask us questions. Maybe we can even have down the line an episode where it's all questions from viewers.
Yeah.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Kevin, what is your favorite food? I don't know.
Hopefully your questions will be way more creative.
I mean, anything. Or maybe like, how would you feel if Batman does come out with a movie based on the video games?
They better do it right.
Right, and that would be a topic that I know me and you could talk forever.
Yeah, who would direct it? Snyder or Nolan?
Who would be it? Bale or Affleck?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll just turn out to be directed by Uwe Boll. And who's gonna play Batman in that one? Just be a terrible choice.
They completely spin it off.
Yeah.
And get an actor you would never ever expect
Or want.
Oh my God.
As Batman.
Watch they get Guillermo del Toro to be the director, and he goes a completely separate route.
Oh God.
Brings in some Hispanic actor for Batman, which by the way I'm Hispanic, so don't think I'm trying to downplay. This is so no, because I don't want people to be like, oh yeah.
No, I know you mean it. Just do it.
Kind of like how the DC, the Marvel universe is doing the Miles Morales.
Yeah,
going forward as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's good.
So I mean, I don't know about Batman.
I don't know, man.
All right, so let's wrap it up.
Alright, guys, again, thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, and just leave us comments.
Yeah. So, Paulo Chindocha here.
Kevin Shepard.
And Sebastian Garland.
All right, taking off. Peace.